welcome to my channel. You're on the Daily Row. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And today we're going to be talking about hair growth tips. Alright, so if you want to know how to grow your natural hair, you want to know some of the things that you shouldn't do or some of the things that you should do, then stay tuned. Alright, so I'm going to be giving you 8 tips in terms of what I have discovered over the years and what I have used and what I think I'm most successful at to grow my hair where it is. So I'm excited. Let's jump into it. Alright, so the first thing that I want you to bear in mind is the ingredients in your products. So I'm going to ask you to just grab your products that you're currently using and you're going to check the ingredients. Alright? Now, please note how ingredients are. The ones that are mentioned first are the ones that have the most in terms of content. Alright? So even though you might see a product says it has honey, it has Jamaican black castor oil, those probably are like the last ingredient, last 3 ingredients, and you realize what it means therefore is that it doesn't have as much of those products as those that are at the number 1 spot. Alright? As it relates to your deep conditioning treatments, you want to make sure that the first ingredient is water, or at the best the second ingredient, because if the deep conditioning treatment is supposed to add moisture to your hair and if water is not in it or it's a water-based product, then you're going to be in problem. So you want to make sure that you check the ingredients. Make sure, 1, that it does not have sulfate. Okay, it has to be sulfate free. The sulfate, that soddy, very soapy aspect of your shampoo, and so what sulfate does is it strips your hair, because you have sulfate in the dishwashing liquid, you have sulfate in our laundry detergent, and those are expected to have sulfate because it's stripping away dirt and grime. Alright, yeah, I know dirt is in our hair, but the extent to which our hair is a bit more fragile, so you don't want to add sulfate to your hair, because what it's doing, it strips your hair of the moisture and it just allows your hair to just look lusterless, dull and brittle. And you might be wondering, my hair isn't growing. That's not true. Our hair grows every single day, but what is happening is we're not retaining length, and part of that is because of the products that we use, the shampoo that we use in particular, that has sulfate in it. Alright, so you want to make sure that you check that. If you do have it, I would suggest that you get another one. There are some very affordable ones that you can use. Cream of Nature, which is my favorite, the honey line. You have Shea Moisture, Male Organics. There are so many other products that are sulfate free that are quite affordable. I particularly don't like Cantu. I know a lot of persons like Cantu, but one of the products that the Cantu products have that I don't like is alcohol. Alright, and because it has the alcohol, the alcohol is going to dry the hair. So I prefer to stay away from Cantu products. That's just my preference. I used to use it a lot, but I found that it didn't work with my hair. Either it left some residue or it just dried my hair, and I kept wondering why my hair just felt so, it didn't feel moisturized as this does, and it was just not working for me. So the Cream of Nature worked for me, but you can find what works for you, and you would have had products already, so you can continue using them. Alright, so that's tip 1. Tip 2, deep condition your hair at least, I'm going to say at least once per month. When I just started my natural hair journey, I used to do it twice per month, And I think probably because I just thought that my hair was a little bit dry, and I don't like when my hair is on the dry side. So I did a deep conditioning treatment twice per month. And I make my conditioning treatment. I don't necessarily buy the ones from stores, so you can do that as well. So what I use is the avocado, because I don't eat avocado. I know my coworkers get on me all the time about it. It's supposed to be eaten, but I don't eat it. So it goes in my hair, right? But it's rich. It's very rich in omega 3 and fatty acids, and you get that in your hair as well. Because the truth is, whatever we put in our body, we should, well, let me not say that because I really don't want to put chicken in my hair. But you get the point that I'm making. All right, so you want to make sure that you deep condition. So what I do with my deep conditioning treatment, how I make it, I blend about 2 avocado medium size. If it's large, and I probably do a large and a small because of the volume of my hair. So 2 medium avocados work for me, and I add olive oil and coconut milk. I love the smell of the coconut milk, and so I add that, blend it, and it has this nice, blended to this nice rich creamy texture, and apply it to your wet, to your dry or damp hair. All right, so I tend to do that even before I shampoo, because, and I put it on the cap. I don't go on the heat, so I tend to do that in the morning, basically when I get up, and then just go throughout the day and allow the heat to just do what it's supposed to do. All right, and work on getting everything in the tresses and the different strands of my hair. So that works for me, and I actually love it. All right, and so when I wash it out, it's nice and soft and creamy. All right, so that's tip number 2. Make sure you deep condition your hair at least once per month. All right, you probably can do another if you feel that your hair is still dry and it's not feeling how you want it. All right, so just do another one, probably 2 weeks after. All right, tip number 3: use a wide tooth comb or a Denman brush. Okay, you want to make sure that you don't use the tail comb. You don't use a comb that doesn't have enough width in terms of where the teeth of the comb is, because our hair is different. It's not straight. All right, it has lots of knots and kinks, and you don't want a comb that's just going to be pulling on it. So make sure you have the right tools, the right comb to comb your hair, because it's going to make a world of a difference. And I noticed that in the moment I switched to a wide tooth comb instead of just a regular comb, it was a world of difference as it relates to just detangling. The detangling process was easier. I didn't feel as if my scalp was just, being massacred by just the pulling and yeah. So get a wide tooth comb if you do not have one already, or a Denman brush. The Denman brush does the same thing in terms of just making sure that you comb it through and it doesn't have that friction. And what the truth is, I only comb my hair when it's wet. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I do. I only put a comb in my hair when it's wet and when it has conditioner in it. So like for tonight, or when I'm finished with this video, all I'm going to do is just twist my hair back. Alright, and that's how it's going to be until I'm ready to go out or I'm ready to do another video. But yeah, I tend to just have my hair in one state, and so I don't comb it unless it is wet. And you'll find that the slip is better. Your hair breaks a lot easier when it's dry. So when you're combing your hair in a dry state, you're gonna see that difference in terms of more hair will be coming out, the friction that it causes, what will happen to your scalp. So just to be on the safe side, use a wide tooth comb. Alright, and just comb your hair only when it is wet. Alright, so let us look at tip number 4. Do not try to comb your hair every day or try to find a style. I know you're excited. I know, oh, I see the curls. I love my hair texture. And yeah, I was like that. And so I was in my hair pretty much every day because I was just so excited. Like, ooh, right? But what I did find though in doing that, my hair was breaking a lot more because I was just not allowing it to just rest, and she just doesn't like the manipulation. Alright, so less is better. So if you can find a style that can last you for the week, that would be good. Right? If you can do a protective style, and protective style doesn't have to be like braids and bantu knots. You can just do a twist out, which is what I do. That's like my go-to. Use it. I think if you look in every video, this is my go-to style. I just twist, and then when I'm ready, I unravel, and I'm good to go. Right? So you want to make sure that you don't go in your hair a lot, don't manipulate your hair a lot. It just likes to be left alone sometimes, just to prosper and allow it to, breathe. I think that's, for lack of a better word, just allow her to breathe. So don't try to style your hair every day. Don't try to use a comb. Don't try to do styles that will be difficult to unravel. I know some persons like the fine twist, but sometimes when you have to pull it out or unravel, you find that it's breaking because it's too fine, your fingernails. So make sure that you're careful too of the style that you're doing in your hair, so it's not difficult to unravel, it's not difficult to take down, and also that you don't have to comb it every single day. And avoid putting it in like one, and like if you're gonna put it in one, don't let it be tight, and try to tuck the ends of your hair under, so get like a bun, because you don't want the friction on your clothes. All right, so I don't have anything here, it's just my skin. But if like I had like a blouse on, the cotton, just moving, the friction will just be rubbing on my clothes. So you want to make sure that you don't have your hair out all the time. It's just rubbing and breaking off, because contrary to what we may think, our hair is fragile. Our hair it doesn't have that. I thought that my natural hair probably was stronger than my processed hair, and honestly I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case, because one, with the coils and the curls, it's just easier to break, and I think it's a little bit more susceptible to damage. I don't know why I feel that way, but I really do. Right? I tend to treat her with care, and yes, I do speak of her in like she's a person. She has her personality, and yeah. All right. And do a porosity test. That's my tip for number 5. All right, the porosity test is pretty simple. You're going to get your hair, like after combing it, without any product in it, just allow it to dry. All right, if it was wet, allow it to dry. If it's dry, then you're in good stead. Drop it in some water, right, and then you're going to watch what happens. Okay, so either it's going to sink pretty fast, or it's going to stay on the top for a while, which is mine. I have low porosity here, and so it doesn't absorb moisture easily. All right, so even though it's in the water, it's basically at the surface, just sitting there, doesn't absorb the moisture easily. So you have to be, test it. The normal porosity is one that just slowly, not slowly, but takes the time, doesn't take a long time. It's not fast like the high porosity, which just goes all the way to the bottom. It's not slow, where mine will take probably a day, and it's probably just halfway in the water. All right, The medium porosity or the normal porosity, well, probably not always you'll see it floating to the bottom, which is good. All right, but if you have low porosity, it means that your hair is not susceptible to the moisture. It doesn't readily accept it. So do the test. Let a strand of your hair, a piece of it, drop it in the water, and just see how your hair responds to moisture. And then the tip that I'm giving you next, you will know how to I don't want to say manipulate, but how to use this method to the best of your ability based on your porosity. All right, and so that one is the lock method. All right, the lock method, LOC, that's what it means, liquid oil cream. Okay, so what you do, as like for my hair, it's now moisturized, but give about until about Friday, I'll find that my hair is drying out a bit. So what I will do is use my liquid, which is water. All right, if I add anything to it, it's probably some aloe vera that I'll blend, or aloe vera juice, but it must be water based. All right, spray it on my hair. All right, I normally have it in sections. I spray it on a section. That's my liquid. Then you get your oil, which could be any of the carrier oils. Okay, it could be the Jamaican black castor oil, it could be castor oil, olive oil, coconut oil, extra virgin coconut oil, almond oil. There's so many. All right, and if you want to mix it, that's fine. Okay, then you drop, not too much, because you don't want your hair to be weighed down and be too heavy. Right, so you just drop some in your hands, rub it up, use the palm method. Right, bring it in your hair and cream. All right, now the cream can be a leave-in treatment, like and a lot of persons have the mask. It can be anything like that, but anything that's just going to stay in your hair. Personally, I use my conditioner. I use my conditioner. If I don't have any of those products, I just use my conditioner, my regular conditioner, and seal in the moisture, because the oil is a sealant. The oil is not a moisturizer. So a lot of times persons say your hair is dry, put some oil in it. The oil is just going to sit on your hair. It's not moisturizing your hair. So you want to get the liquid, spray it with some water, and then you add your oil, which actually seals in, and that works for my low porosity here. All right, some persons use the LCO method, the liquid, cream, then the oil, and those with the high porosity here can do that because you already have the moisture. Your hair is not resistant to moisture, so you can add your cream, then your oil, which is fine. But for me, I want to seal in the moisture because I have low porosity here. So I put the liquid, which is the water, then the oil to seal it in, and then I'm good to go. All right, so you can do that. All right, tip number 7, wear a silk cap, all right, or a satin cap, or you can use the tie ones that you basically just do the pineapple tie, and as we go along I'll show you guys some of these things. Or you sleep on a silk or a satin pillowcase. Alright, and the reason for that is, when we're sleeping, we're all over the place. We're not even conscious of it, and so our hair is moving as well, and the friction. And when I was young, I would get up and I would see lots of hair on the bed, and I'm wondering, and that's it. I slept bad as a child. And so my hair would just be all over the place, and it's just rubbing. So you want to make sure that you have a silk, and silk or satin, because unlike cotton, it doesn't suck moisture. All right, the cotton will just suck out everything, because that's what cotton does. So the silk doesn't do that. The silk actually helps it to retain whatever moisture you have. So you want to make sure that you use a silk or a satin cap. All right, and the last tip: find products that work for you. Not what everybody else uses, not what everybody says is good. Find the products that work for you and stick with them. you know, stick with them because it's best for you. And so, not because someone does well with shea moisture, because I swore by shea moisture, and I still do to some extent, but I found switching to cream of nature, which is actually cheaper, right? Cream of nature works better for me than even shea moisture because the moisture, the slip, just the softness of my ear, it's just second to none, honestly. And so I'm sticking to these products. So don't try to be a product junkie. You're gonna see people telling you about so many products. Don't try to find what works for your hair. Alright? Just like our fingerprint is unique, your hair is unique. And find what works for your hair and not try to mimic what other persons are putting in their hair. Do what works for you. Alright? And make sure you drink lots of water. Just like our hair needs water, you know, just sometimes you can just spritz water or, you know, aloe vera juice, or sometimes I use the apple cider vinegar when I'm cleansing my scalp. I'll just put my bottle and just use it to cleanse my scalp. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the tips. I hope if you're not doing any of them that you'll start doing them, and you're gonna see a world of difference. My hair has grown, especially because I'm not in it as much as I used to be. When I was in it as much, she was growing, but not as much. So try to stay out of your hair as best as possible. Find out the products that you're using. Make sure that they don't have any harmful substances in it. And sometimes you probably just need to research. Like some of the products we don't even know what they mean. We don't know anything about them. So research, find out what it does, find out the side effects, or you know, anything bad or harmful that might happen as a result. So thank you so much for coming to the Daily Row. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if there's anything that you'd want me to answer, if there's anything that you want to ask. Leave a comment down below, alright, and let me know. So see you the next time for another exciting video. I think you guys are gonna love this one because it is, I think, trending right now, and I have my own horror story with it. But the next time you see me, we're gonna do the rice water treatment. And I'll tell you my horror story. You may laugh and it's very embarrassing, but you can laugh at my expense. So like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything, and share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with somebody who may be natural. Share it with someone who may be transitioning to natural hair. Alright, I'm sure they'll benefit from it, and let me know if there's anything that you want me to do, any other videos that you're excited for me to do. Alright, see you next time.